first presentation outline. This one is called Presence, and it is by Amy Cuddy. And this is the book that one of you will win today as a result of the drawing. On the very top of your handout, you see the link to the famous TED video that she made talking about that it is bodies that control our mind. It is the second most watched TED video in history. As of last night before I went to bed, 31,170,853 views have watched the video she shot in 2012 in Stockholm. It is an amazing book about how your body controls the mind, which is obviously opposite from what many people think on a common sense level. And it's filled with great stories and research, and I'll try to share some of these with you. In your outline, I gave you a summary of the book that came from her website, and I wanted to look at the second paragraph under that header of summary of the book. She says, by accessing our personal power, we can achieve presence, the state in which we stop worrying about the impression we're making on others and instead adjust the impression we've been making on ourselves. So there's a lot in the book about control, self-control of posture, self-control of what you call body language, and what happens with that. Go, if you would, to the header called, What is Presence? And she says this, presence is apologize. Presence, as I mean it throughout these pages, is the state of being attuned to and able to comfortably express our true thoughts, feelings, value, and potential. That's it. It's not a permanent, transcendent mode of being. It comes and goes. It is a moment-to-moment phenomenon. And so she talks about why, in fact, you need presence. And this is not in the book. It says, next time you're faced with one of those tense moments, imagine approaching it with confidence and excitement instead of doubt and dread. Imagine feeling energized and at ease while you're there, liberated from your fears about how others might be judging you. And imagine leaving it without regret, satisfied that you did your best regardless of the measurable outcome. Keep going on your outline. This quote says that presence emerges when we feel personally powerful, which allows us to be acutely attuned to our most sincere selves. In this psychological state, we are able to maintain presence even in the very stressful situations that typically make us feel distracted and powerless. When we feel present, our speech, facial expressions, postures, and movements align. They synchronize and focus, and that internal convergence, that harmony, is palpable and resonant because it's real. Then at the top of page 4, presence is about the everyday. It's even, dare I say, ordinary. We can all do it. Most of us just don't know how to summon that presence when it temporarily escapes us at life's most critical moments. So I took out of the book the diagrams about powerful versus powerless poses. And what she talks about is the idea that before you go into an interview, an important meeting, before you go into some challenging type of environment, what you do is you adopt powerful poses. By doing the things you see in those diagrams, spreading out, taking space, feeling confident, that changes not only the way you look, but also the way you act, and it changes the idea that it's the body that actually has an impact on the mind. Now, the last thing I want to say on your outline is, this is the famous line from the video, fake it until you become it. It's not fake it until you make it, it's fake it until you become it. And she says you're not fooling other people, you're fooling yourself. Just a little bit until you feel more powerful, more present, and it's about keeping up the practice even if it takes time to get there. So you fake it, not to make it, but to become it. It's the body that controls the mind, and it is a fascinating book. It is very high on the bestseller list. If you've never seen the video, join the 31 million. You have good company to do that. I hope you enjoyed that synopsis of Presence by Amy Cuddy.